Hi, how you doing? This is Georgina Salgado, wellness consultant, author of Quick and Easy Tips to Lose Weight, and also founder of Nutritional Lifestyle Experts. First of all, in order for us to understand weight loss, we have to understand what is the real cause of weight gain. Number one is the poor nutrition. It's not really the quantity that we're eating, it's the quality of the food that we're eating. Basically, we're eating a lot of processed food, we're eating a lot of junk food, a lot of sugar, a lot of refined flour, a lot of table salt, and a lot of other stuff that they're not really good for us. It's man-made, and everything that's man-made is not really good with our body. It don't resonate, you know? So anyway, that will be the quality of the food, basically, not the quantity. Now, a lot of people, that's why they go into diets and they never work. Because they go to the low-calorie diets. The body has the ability to adjust. That's number one. The number two issue here is stress. Stress is one of the things that a lot of us, we don't really understand it because we think it's just a breathing issue, or maybe you feel like, ready to explode, but it's not that. Actually, stress can cause to gain weight. First of all, I don't know if you ever seen the TV that they were talking about it, people that sleep more, they tend to lose more weight, is because adrenal glands. Now, people, they're drinking too much coffee. If you drink coffee once in a blue moon, it's okay. But when you do every day, a lot of those things, they can damage your adrenal glands. Damage is really serious. Now, your adrenal glands produce cortisol, which can make you be bigger. Also, too, is not going to help you to sleep properly. And also, it's going to make you feel tense all the time. So it's not a really good feeling anyways for you. But anyways, stress can cause you weight gain as well. Now, number three is lack of mobility. Everybody knows that if you don't do exercise, you gain some weight. But you see, I see a trend, like people think that when they do too much exercise, they're supposed to be healthy, and it's not. First is first. If you think about this from the point of view of surviving, if you don't do exercise for a year, you will surviving and you'll be okay. You know, I mean, after years and years that you don't do exercise, that's when your body start taking a toll. But honestly, exercise, you do need it, but in little quantities. Number two, if you eat solid food, if you don't want to eat today for 2 months, you're still going to have a life for 2 months. So it's necessity, but it's not like that necessity. Number three, if you don't drink water, you can only survive 2 days. So it's more important water than solid food. Yes, it is. It's more important than that. So you have to drink more water. How much water do you got to drink? Your body weight divided in 2. That's the amount of ounces that you got to drink. For instance, if I'm 110 pounds, 55 pounds, it will be my half. So 55 ounces is about 7 glasses of water for me. All right. So then the number 4 and the most important part of it, a lot of us, we forget the oxygen. I want that you remember something. If you don't just breathe for 5 minutes, after 5 minutes you'll be dead. That's how important is oxygen. Now in your body, oxygen take the blood everywhere, so you have to bring oxygen everywhere in your body in order for it to be fed. So it's very, very important, oxygen, and that's when the stress comes from. You know, the stress can kill you. They say that 90% of all diseases and all the diseases, all of them, they're either caused by a stress directly or are triggered by stress. So 95% of it. So basically, we can improve a lot if we just learn how to do the nice breathing, okay? So now, the other cause of obesity, overweight, is chemical toxicity. Chemical toxicity is big. That's why we have so many processed food, and since the processed food, obesity and overweight is skyrocket. Now, obesity and overweight is not just a United States or Mexico problem nowadays, it's a worldwide problem. I want that you understand, a few years back ago, 20, 30 years ago, we didn't have this problem. This problem got this massive in the last probably 20 years. So we're having a lot of new illnesses like diabetes type 1 in kids. Diabetes type 1 in kids a few years back ago, it didn't even exist. Autism is skyrocketed, and a lot of illnesses there is skyrocketed, and they just came out of the blue. Diabetes is 50% in the United States. They're either pre-diabetic or diabetic already. So we're talking about an epidemic, and it's not the obesity or the overweight. It's basically what we put in there. Chemical toxicity, I think, is one of the bigger things that we have in processed food. Processed food is not what they put in the food itself, also to check for the packaging. Plastic, aluminum. You know, everybody knows that they can go ahead and be endocrine disruptors, for instance, plastic. Aluminum is a lot of incidents of fibromyalgia, pains everywhere. Aluminum is to blame sometimes. So if we're going to go into chemical toxicity, we're going to check the food, what it has in the food, the processed food. Then we're going to check the wrap, you know, whatever is wrapped with, or whatever the container that is with. Number 3, also we got to check skincare. Skincare is one of the things that we get so much contamination in our bodies, and most of us, we don't think that that's important. Most of us, we check the mouth, but we put anything in the face and stuff. Remember, the skin absorbs a lot of stuff, and also when absorbs, it goes directly to your bloodstream. It don't go through the system of the liver. You know, like liver is a filtration system, so you don't go through that. So it's even worse to put it in here than put it in here. So anyways, another issue, another cause of overweight and obesity is emotional issues. In hypnosis, they say you are what you know what you don't know. And one of the big problems here is most of us didn't understand the relationship that we have with food. The relationship that we have with food is very important. What we learned when we were kids, we reflected when we were older. Like, for instance, you know, you used to have a little kid, and sometimes I see the little kids, they fall. So the mom come running and give her a hug, a kiss, and blah, 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 and then he give them some candies. Or when they go to, like school, a lot of the kids, they get rewarded with candies, with sweets. So when they get older, nobody's clapping for what they do. Nobody's clapping for when they need rewarding. But they do have the candies. So they turn to the candies. That's how our memories, they start going a little bit off and be a little bit dangerous for us versus being a good thing. Now, what we're looking sometimes when we get older is not really the candy. It's the feeling that came with the candy when it was introduced to us. So a lot of the stuff that's how it works. Like I have a patient that told me, I'm Italian. And every time that we used to have big reunions with family and everybody was happy, the Christmas, New Year's, and blah, 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 we used to have a lot of pasta. And I can't really get away with eating pasta every day. You see, her family is back home, back in Italy. She's here by herself. I think that what it is, the problem is not the pasta itself, it's the family, what she's missing. But you know what? That's how our mind works sometimes. Sometimes it does things to protect us, but it plays games with us. So there's sometimes emotional issues. If we find out why we're doing this kind of behavior, so probably we can solve a lot of the problems. I'm going to tell you one of the things that has nothing to do with food. Myself, when I was growing up, I was like probably 5 years old or so. I remember that one day we were ready to go to sleep, and it was a man underneath of my bed. For whatever reason, I pushed my sandals on the bottom of my bed and it got stuck. And as a kid, you know, you just go and turn around and see what is in there, because why my sandals, there were no inside. So then I saw this man face to face like this, and it was a man there in my bed, in the need of my bed. So I called my mom and I said, Mom, I somebody here in the need of my bed. For too many reasons, for too many years, I never, ever remember. I mean, it went years and years, I never remember, but I did. Every time I used to come back home, I used to look in the need of mattresses, and the need of beds, and the need of, the sofas, everywhere. I was looking for something. I thought one day that was going a little cuckoo, because I didn't understand why my behavior was so irrational. But after I did remember, and I kind of put some peace in my mind, the problem is solved. Nowadays I don't do that, fortunately enough. So anyways, so what I'm trying to tell you is we gotta see what is really what is your mind telling you? You know, what are you looking for? Sometimes we don't looking for the food. We're looking for the feeling that comes with the food. And the food is just like secondary, third, is last thing is important. So anyways, those are the 5 causes of overweight and obesity. So if you like it, please send us your comments, questions also. Visit us at nutritionallifestyleexperts.com. Again, nutritionallifestyleexperts.com. And say hi, Alice. Bye-bye.